Well, that is the question that we are hoping to find out. I really would like a third map. I feel like I want a chance for OG to try and play their way into this game.
Okay.
Because I felt like they weren't as absent as they were against Genji the first time, but they definitely weren't as switched on as they were against Genji the second time. I think we landed in some weird middle ground that was sort of almost interesting, but not quite. So, and on the other hand, VP looked incredible. I think I can't credit them enough. I think what they were doing in Mirage was really cool. It was entertaining to watch VP play that well on Counter-Strike. So I'm actually not all the way sad, but I still would love to see just a little bit more out of OG, because I feel like this is their chance to do it, and they're obviously not gonna have many more here on Inferno. They're starting on the CT side, VP on the T side, and already just a quick check, and then they're gonna go back and stack 4-8. I don't mind any of this from OG. I think it's just fine.
Yo, surprise. Oh, nice follow-up as well. Mantu catching out Yakinder. Sanji and Yakinder down for Virtus.pro. This is going to, of course, trigger them to run onto the B side as quickly as possible. Smoke goes down. Nice nade slowing them down. And this is OG. This is perfection from OG.
It actually is. This is just very, very cool. And in the corner hiding, Valda stops the bomb, shoots Buster and Jame in the head, and that will be a flawless round. I mean, you could write this down in a script and try to enact it with your friends on a server where everyone is just, knows what they're doing. It's going to be hard to do it that perfectly. That worked out so well.
The trap.
Yes. It's like they know that the push is coming. They get everything down. This is so well done.
Yeah, it's one step after the other.
All right. Well, that is the level of focus and attention and just, smooth Counter-Strike that we want to see, and we want to see a lot more out of OG here. Third map would be Dust 2 if we get to it, which I don't necessarily think is great news for OG either. But, well, one step at a time and all that. Some Tech-9s, some Deagles being picked up here in the second round from VP.
And VP expecting the early aggression in Banana from OG. Not even messing with it a moment. Buster, he's all the way back in T-spawn. So the double HEs, all of that doesn't really work out, and now we're going to set up for a delayed peek. And against the MP9, rather, this is definitely more than enough firepower. Deagle, Tech-9. If Mantu isn't careful, he could get overwhelmed here.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to go down. He's got Valda inside of B, so if he doesn't get immediately shot in the face, Mantu, there's going to be a flashbang, and I'm assuming he's just going to, just go behind it. So a little bit of a jump there. They're getting close enough. There's the shot. Where's the flashbang? It's going to come in and still goes down. That's a bit spicy. Valda, though, he's going to put up a smoke instantly afterwards. So it's going to be very hard for them to go through, but they almost have to. If they wait, it probably just gets worse. So yeah, here they come. Valda and Alexiv ready to shut them down right afterwards. I don't even blame them for trying. I don't know. I don't think waiting would have made this better in any way.
Yeah.
And look at Yakinder. Oh! That's a shot. Still 20 seconds. Yakinder is far away, though, but he did actually take down one of the people rotating in from the A-bomb site. It's such a shame that Jame is so low on health and they only have 14 seconds, because otherwise, this could suddenly have got very, very interesting. I think it's going to be nearly impossible still to win the round, even if they did so much cool stuff here. They do find that, in 4 seconds, he can't pick up the bomb, and he can't find MBK. Again, just needed a bit more time. Oh, man. But from OG's point of view, if you thought you were building some confidence, now you might be thinking, oh man, that's a bit scary.
Yeah. Oh, it's OG with the pistol, it worked their way, but by no means are they to let off the gas here, to lose focus. This is Virtus.pro's strongest map in the pool. They've got so much experience on it. They've got a deep playbook on it. It's going to be very difficult for OG to predict what Virtus.pro are going to throw at them. And so OG need to have that confidence. And I'm really glad to see them get this strong start, the 2 rounds, because I was saying when we were going into break between maps, like, holy smokes, the body language from OG, after that first map on Mirage, it just looked like they were just utterly defeated. And so getting the pistol and the follow-up as well here for OG, I mean, it's critical. Because otherwise, I mean, if it had just been Virtus.pro picking up the pistol, yeah, I could see OG just wilting completely.
Yeah, they really do have this awkward sense about them, don't they? It's what we saw against, again, the first Gen G matchup, which is very, very deflating to look at here. They do have a very good setup for the kind of stuff that VP was coming with, although the jump out with the MP9, suddenly it's a 2-on-2. I was going to say, I actually think they were fine. It looked like they were all reloading at the same time, and obviously that can lead to some trouble. A little bit of a chance, spotting out one player there. They've picked up an M4, but It's going to be on Sanji, and he's just lost his face down in the pit. James now with a deagle. Can we get some smooth headshots? He's certainly trying. Would have been cool if he could have done, you know, just a couple of shots there, but not quite so. But another round that, again, you don't just roll through this round if you're OG and think, like, sweet, smooth, like it's on. Yeah. You've got 2 rounds now where you think, man, this is actually really tricky, even if they have nothing to fight with.
Yeah. It's been 2 rounds of 2 guys surviving for OG, and that's just not, you're not building a bank off of that. So even going into this round now, where Virtus.pro, they get the bomb plant, so they really are getting a lot of money to buy with. It's going to be a fully equipped Virtus.pro going up against OG. OG are going to be the ones who have to squeak by with some FAMASs just so they can afford to get the nades. So their firepower is going to be a little lacking. It's not going to be as powerful as it could be. And you can see. So Issa is going to be the one who bites that bullet. But we'll have the AWPs in play. Mantu electing not to peek mid, and James had the angle anyway, so it's actually a good thing he did not.
And even more so the rifles. It's the lack of Molotovs on MBK and LXCB and flashbangs. Those are really, really important grenades for the CT side Inferno. LXCB right on the edge. KiNK going to instantly take him down, and Valde, that's a very important kill. He might not be done yet. They're going to try and smoke him away, and I don't know, Buster looked like he wasn't even looking at that. That is a bit weird, because all they need is the kill. Not even the kill. All they need is to push Valde back, and at least they get a bomb plant. But now, who knows? Oh, he comes sneaking right through. He's right on the edge. Oh, but James takes him down. What a save. They would have probably both been dead. And now the game is back on here. 3-on-3. And weirdly, Sanji's having a sort of separate fight with Issa on the other side of the map. So it's just down to NBK. He's probably the only one that could do anything here.
Pretty sure Kinder spotted Valde coming through that smoke, and so James knew it. But this is MBK now, and yeah, it's just impossible. There's too many angles for him to worry about there, and the close angle being held just snuffs him. And well, unfortunately for Issa, he is now boxed in here. The only way out is if he gets that kill on Sanji, and so he's hoping that Sanji gets impatient and pushes into him.
Yeah, Kinda's going to shoot him in the back in a second, so...
Yeah, there it is.
Man.
Very well played, and that's VP on the board.
In a round that... I don't even know how you judge any of that, because I mean, it's 4 versus 3 by the time Valde goes through the smoke. Is that the right move? I don't know. I don't want to question. It's hard to question him. Like, he's so good, right? He had a definite opportunity there to win the round in 1 kill, basically.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see just how Yakinder shapes up. Once the post plant there, you saw how he locked it down, NBK.
Yeah.
But I mean, Yakinder is Virtus.pro's highest rated player, but not on Inferno when it comes to entries. Apparently, he struggles mightily on this map in particular. So something to keep an eye on here going forward for Virtus.pro is whether or not Yakinder is going to be able to step up and create some opportunities for him, or if he's just going to be that guy who, once they're on the site, he's locking down the bomb site, and it becomes impossible for OG to retake. Well,
here's the real deal, though, because those the second and third round so far were so hard for OG and they lost so many rifles already, even though they've won 3 in a row, they're straight back to, well, I guess a 4-sub, but they're lacking all of the equipment that they would really like. So that is the position that VP have carved out for themselves in the game so far. So all they needed was that 1 round. It was pretty good stuff here. Some grenades, though, landing on Buster. I guess that's nice. They have another one on Isa. And he's over here. Could, with the right timing, could do some more damage. Doesn't quite work out, but they do come charging through and nearly taking down KiNK. That's a pretty decent attempt.
Do that HE, though. Valde and Issa, their ears are still ringing after that one. And well, NBK and Mantu, they are on the A site. It just might not be for long. All 5 of VP ready to wrap onto this bomb site. And so NBK's dropped back to pit. He is going to be at that annoying position. Mantu's going to get overwhelmed immediately. Smokes are blocking off already. Issa just gets lucky through the smoke and guns down Buster. But now they know where NBK's playing from, and he has got the angle, got the read on Sanji. Beautiful headshot. They're all so low on Virtus.pro. 2-on-2, and now a 2-on-1. It's all on KiNK. How does this even happen? What a shot, though. Catches Valde before he can get out of harm's way.
Wait, he's walking. He's right there. NBK will be able to take him down at the end. This is a mad round. Oh, man. No, if you look at the little crosses over at the minimap at the end of that round, there's like 5 people dying by library. Just a complete madness. That was very strange. A lot of weird things were happening.
And NBK was looking towards the site.
Yeah.
A half second before he comes around the corner there. So there's a world in which KiNK catches NBK looking the wrong way.
But it's actually so smart from MBK because at that like just before he does that, right, he's already taken a couple of shots at the people over at Library.
Yeah.
So he knows that if anyone is close, they will have got that message, right? They will have, because he's you know, he's right side pit, just go, go, go. So it's very clever for him to immediately sort of expect that to happen.
Isn't that kind of thing we expect from MBK, though? I mean, a real veteran like him, he should be aware of those mind games, right? He should be just a nightmare to play against.
And he should be, yeah, and maybe especially if you could put him over in pit, right? It'd be one of those positions where he should be hard to dig out of there. Right, it's fine. Listen, they've won that round, OG, and it is really good. And because they didn't have a lot going into it, they pick up some rifles. It helps them, but they're not out of the woods yet. VP can still buy. If they win this round, VP will shrug that last round right off and say, whatever, man, we're going to be fine. And OG will be back to saving, so they need to keep winning.
Oh, they absolutely do. James showing some real patience here. Controlling the angle at top mid. OG, though, they've elected to just let Virtus.pro have this portion of the map for now. They may go for the retake later, but with 45 seconds now, it's starting to get a little bit interesting. Did they have? Yeah, they're hearing they are close enough now to know that top banana, there are some bodies here. Could get that rotation coming in. Alexi's going to peek mid, and then he hightails it over here to this bomb site. Getting back just in the nick of time. Going to be able to put some shots through this smoke. Or the flash setup, and there's the flash coming through. Velda's ready for it, and they have yet to make their way through these smokes, Virtus.pro. Somehow they have to get onto the bomb site.
Why are they slowing down so much? More people are showing up, and Velda's finding kills. Oh no, VP. It looked like maybe there was a timing window, but they just stand right at the lip of the bomb site and get picked apart. Bit of a faked attempt. I mean, James, he's doing so much damage, but they are running out of time. He's trying to throw the orb away. If that would have worked all the way, if there hadn't been another one there, if he could have thrown them both away, that would have been really cool. Again, though, you know, OG, the first 2 kills there, that round is probably going to be theirs, but they still end up losing 3 more players after the fact. So, you know, VP, it does make a difference long term here. If every time, even if they lose, they do that much damage, it's not going to be easy. But 5-1.
I think it's that flash from Alexi coming in from CT spawn that just wrecks them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, crap. What are we doing now? In the smoke. No man's land. Well, you know what we get? It's the Russian AK. Thrown in on Buster here. He's going to have that rifle. They're going to be trying to make the play here. Virtus.pro, OG putting up a fight in Banana, and the multi-nades landing on top of a Buster. He's got nowhere to go. Kickert's going to be there to recover the AK, and James trying to draw attention to himself, trying to set up the bait.
Oh, man. I think Valda's favored in this. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe not. It's so awkward. Alexi still waiting, and that's the AK lost. And yeah, it's going to be hard to pick it up. Nice triple spray down there for Alexi B. So a moment of awkwardness, but now again, the number one goal here is surely for OGs. Don't lose any more rifles. Make sure at least finally you can start to build just a tiny bit of a bank, because VP will be buying in the next round. So yeah, you need all these rifles. So important. 6-1. I mean, listen, 6-1. This is actually quite amazing. OG have built a bit of a lead. The only thing they haven't built so much is money, but this is a huge step in the right direction.
Yeah, what are you doing here if you're calling it on Virtus.pro's side? Last time they had the guns, it looked so good, and then they got bogged down at the very end. Do they try and change up the pace? It's so hard, though, because we're seeing the adjustments being made from OG with the nade game over in Banana. And I mean, it's a game within a game. Banana control on this map. When the nades come in, it can get real complicated. And another change coming in from OG this time. No nades going into Banana.
Oh, but a lot of grenades to second mid. Yakindar and Buster both essentially getting carpet bombed over at that little balcony. That was incredibly effective. I've seen people try a lot. Usually it just does like the 20 damage or whatever, but this one was overwhelming.
That was brutal. And well, what do you do now? Yakinder, he's just struggling.
Yeah, he's going to have a hard time no matter what. But they do have 2 Molotovs, so you know, some sort of B execute could definitely be in store.
Well, we're seeing a revival here from NBK, which is nice.
Yes, you're right.
He's having a bit of a quiet time on Mirage, and now he's up in charge with Velda and Alexi B as well. So the firepower is here on Inferno for OG. I wonder if it's really just both of these teams preparing for one another's maps. And so we're going to get that weird situation where they just win each other's maps, and we're going into map 3, and it's going to be just a total chaos.
Well, I mean, I hope that we get that third map. I really just want. I don't want to see OG just go out without even giving it a real shot. And I feel like they're starting to play their way into this a bit more now. And that's probably good news. 25 seconds. It's now whenever VP if they want to make it into the bomb site. Rushing in, Buster, and I think MBK heard Buster running in, but he couldn't see him or find him at all. 18 seconds. That bomb is making its way on the site now finally, and they are going to get the bomb plant. A little bit risky, but I think they're going to be fine. Kick it. Ooh, actually forced into it. Ooh, but do you want to go for it? This is it's a very, very hard choice. They don't have that much money on OG, and retaking 3-on-3 even at this point, it's potentially quite risky. And oh no.
Oh, that's awkward.
Just pretend like you meant to do that and just walk away. It's fine.
Yeah. How do you get out now? Well, that burned some valuable time off the clock, and now Velda not aware that somebody's in the corner. That is perfect. What a shot. Everybody gets a piece of the action for Virtus.pro locking down that bomb site. They even saved the AWP. Buster going to be able to pass that over to James. So a second round on the board here on the T side for Virtus.pro. 2-6 trailing behind OG. And well, yeah, this is worst case scenario now for OG. Although I got to give it to Alexi B. That is a really cool wallbang that he put through. Look at that.
Yeah, that worked out.
Just get wrecked.
Like, I know how this works. This was I think a textbook example of why having people folded all the way into the A bomb site, because they had Mantu over the arch, but the other two people, MBK and whoever, Isa, I guess, were both being pushed onto the A side itself, and that means as soon as Buster clears the corner of arch and can wrap around, they're so screwed. They're just getting attacked from every angle. Like there's no way for them to really do much of anything there. So you can hold that position sometimes, but I generally think that it can be really tricky. Whereas if you have someone down in pit, let's say, or even in the graveyard, right, you sort of fan out the angle that they have to check, right? Like they can't just all turn around and focus on the A side, even if there's a smoke up or whatever. Like it's good for the T side if they don't ever have to look behind them and can just once they're in, they can just keep looking at the site, which they definitely could in that round. So there's something there as well. 6-2, sort of a buy on OG. I mean, again, they almost have takeoff. Like they're almost at the point where this works. That is a nice flashbang, a nice timing to take down Yakinda, and they're going to try and make it back around the corner before anyone can catch them. But yeah, like they're almost at the point where they can actually take over this first half. All they need is the money, and they just can't quite get it. And the scary thing is that is actually what means that even 6-2, it can instantly turn around to like 6-5, 6-4, something like that for VP, and then suddenly like they don't care anymore. It's just fine. It's so close. Oh. They're still going for it. They heard that AWP go off, but they're still pushing it. And that might have been a little bit of a mistake. Valda with 2 big kills on the Deagle. And James in a 1 versus 5. I actually... Maybe they didn't know that was not the strongest round, but I feel like once you heard the AWP going off there, maybe you don't want to try and push that bomb side unless you think it's just a solo AWP, but...
It's time to reconsider. That may be exactly what they thought, though, right?
Could be, yeah.
They've stacked 4A, but they're just anchoring with the AWP here, and we can rush this AWP down, right? Maybe it takes one of us, but we get the rest.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that is not how it played out for Virtus.pro at all this round. I mean, if you can save the AWP here, James is going to be, good. He can drop an AK next round. There isn't any money at all on Yakinder and Sanji, though. So if there is going to be a buy for Virtus.pro, it's going to be a tough one. Down to 1 second. Clock is going to tick over, and James will save the AWP for the next one. So, well, OG couldn't have asked for a better way to redeem themselves. Look at that. All 5 players survived for OG. This is just that fresh injection into their economy. And, well, they just got obliterated.
Man, that shot from Mantu as well, that was actually not easy at all. Yeah, that is, you're absolutely right. Redemption, at least for the minute here, 7-2 in favor of OG. And I don't know, I'm sure many OG fans looking at Inferno might have been thinking, oh man, this could be a 2-0. That is looking less and less likely at the minute, but still in the first half, of course. Let's see what VP could do. Kills, they're there for James and Sanji and kick it a little bit, but it's not nearly as overwhelming. Nice hunt, and now, as it always is, once you get that kill, you just need to try and find a way back, and they did.
I'm really liking these adjustments in the banana play coming in from OG. I mean, it's so common now to see the guy who has to take point in banana on T side almost constantly wind up in this little nook here. And so teams are starting to, I mean, we saw the double nades earlier. Now it's going to be the aggression. Buster going to get his head taken off by Velda. Yakinder's going to find NBK, though. And that's over on the A side. It is all down to Issa now alone. He's been very quiet so far this first half. A single kill. Let's see if he can double that already. Yep, sure enough.
Stepping it up there. Looking for the spray. Oh, and they lined it up. They gifted him that beautiful triple kill. And that was, but I forgot to say, I was about to say, Issa, man, why are you out in the open taking that fight? But maybe that is also just him trying to say, you know what, I need to play my way into this a little bit, so fair play. By the way, Buster must have been so upset when he got killed by Valde because he was checking for him the whole time, and it's like in the last possible millisecond, he convinced himself that he had fallen back into the site. He was like, oh, never mind, and then he was right there.
Boom.
No bomb plant, 6-round lead, more people staying alive here for OG. I mean, now it's not just, you know, a little bit of a trend. Now they're looking a lot stronger than they were earlier here. This is pretty impressive.
Well, these are the turntables turning, aren't they? I mean, if you're Virtus.pro now, you've got to be thinking, well, this is what we were doing to OG on Mirage, and that was their map pick. What's going on here? And OG, I mean, clearly making the adjustments.
I'm hoping what happened is between the first and the second map, I don't know, they're not all sat together, but someone, you know, came on TeamSpeak or something and just started yelling at them, saying...
Well, they have no coach, OG, right? So maybe Seb?
Someone's got to do the yelling, eventually. So if they don't get it, I'll join and I'll do the yelling. It's fine. I'll do it free even, Sam. They don't have to pay me anything for it.
Yeah, but you're too nice when it comes to yelling and all that, you know what I mean?
Listen, not when I'm watching OG play. I can do it. Like, it makes me really upset. So if they keep playing poorly, I'll do it.
Well, you may get a chance here.
Well, now there's no need for the yelling. The yelling has already worked. Oh man, too. This is dangerous, but he's lightning fast. If he didn't get that, he's just dead.
Oh ho! It is just the game. You watch, you wait. There's the bait, and well, James, with the bomb all the way back in T-spawn.
Yeah.
What are they hoping to achieve here?
More damage, more kills, just try and... I mean, it actually is kind of smart because as long as you can keep the economy really low, all you need is a round and suddenly you've got some sort of a basis here. Yakinder has once again managed to sneak in, but they're starting to get a little bit wise to it. Man2 calling that. He's got a triple right here. And James going to run back and, I don't know, pick up the bomb or something, and he's got 25 seconds. He could try and run for it, but it's a low percentage chance no matter what here. He says he will already hurt him, I think. So, yeah, James walking in, and he will go down. So 9-2. Again, no bomb plant, and 4 people staying alive for OG. Looking much, much better at the moment here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're looking completely revitalized here, OG. Totally different team. Nothing to do with the team that was playing on Mirage. And, I mean, Virtus.pro, the same could be said for them. It's a mighty struggle on their side. Nobody into double digits yet, as far as kills are concerned, and just a lot of running in one after another. OG have clearly figured out how they want to handle B defense with the nade protocols and the aggression. They're really keeping Virtus.pro guessing. Look, this round, no nades. Again, so just baiting VP in, letting VP feel a little bit more comfortable over here on this side of the map. And Virtus.pro, in answer to this, are going to be moving over towards A. So we'll see some action here from Man2 in a moment.
See if they come right through. Grenade is going to go down. We'll do a little bit of damage. Oh, nice one coming in as well down there from the pit. NBK's dropped, though. A lot of trouble here for Issa, but he's out of the pit. He nearly gets the double spray down, and that might have just saved the bomb side, but instead, I don't know, yeah, Man2, it's almost like he needed a random shot to even make that slightly feasible. Instead, they're going to be backing off, and I don't blame them here. I don't think it's worth it, so that was a very, very quick execute from VP once they took that top mid position. Very often what you'll see instead is that the T side will take top mid and then they'll go back and check banana and make sure no one's there, and then they'll make up their minds. But this was clearly planned out, and it worked really well. So, third round finally on the board now for the VP side. You love Alexibi to come and throw a grenade into the corner, Dozier style, but is it? Oh, it's not going to do it. And yeah, third round. The area, strangely, this can still be salvaged from VP. If they win just a couple more here, at least it's still in contention. This was a miss. Very, very nearly he's just saving the day, or at least making it feasible for the rest of his team to show up.
He's just thinking, oh, finally some action over here.
Yeah.
It's been nothing but B all first half, it feels like. Asa's just been kind of chilling out, and he's finally able to get some kills on the board, so he's going to be feeling happy about that one. Velda, once again going for the setup, but it's Mantu and Alexibi working together. And actually, they're just going to go ahead and leave Mantu alone to lock down this B site and putting 4 players on A early. OG just pulling all the stops out here. 3 players on the crossfire, and they better hope that they turn away from these flashes in time. They will, and BK trades it 1 for 1. Velda's going to find it, and through the smoke, the third man making the difference. Velda just coming up with the kills.
It's really, really important. Ooh, burning a little bit to that. 2-on-2 though. And with Sanji that low on health, and even James, I think, did he take some fire damage? He looks like he's almost about to burn. But still a 2-on-2. Let's see what Sanji could do. A headshot here would do it. Valda walking right in, and he's going to go down. That's it. There's a little bit of Molotov damage that he took earlier was enough to make that a one-shot kill. Otherwise, it would have at least been, 2 bullets to do it. Mantu sneaking in, and now it is AWP versus AWP. James versus Mantu. He's actually going to switch it out to an AK, so trying to see if he can maybe play the odds a little bit there. Smoke, and then flash, and the bomb is only just down, so he's going to have a little bit of time here. He's got the kit and everything running right through, looking for James, and he's actually hiding smartly behind the box. I think he can see him. Yes, he can. James just standing up. What a champion. Just hide and seek at the end there.
Oh, man, making it happen. James keeps his cool. That's such a shame that the double bluff didn't work there, but this setup for OG, they were ready. They were ready for Virtus.pro to push top mid, and it still wasn't enough. Unfortunately for Velda, because he moved so quick through T-spawn, or rather through top of mid, through T. Yeah, they were just ready for that rotation, Virtus.pro, and he just did not get anything out of it. And so now we go into it, the 14th round of this first half. OG in the lead 9-4 on CT, and calling their third tactical timeout with just enough money. Well, just enough money to go for the buy. So they're going to force it. And so you're thinking that you could have gone for a half buy in this round.
Yeah. Going
into the final round of the half and really just trying to set yourself up for success, get that double-digit 10-5. Now you're trying to play for keeps here. You're going 11. You're aiming for 11-4 if you're OG.
Man, this is going to be one of those buys that'll be judged on the outcome, which is always a bit unfair, right? Because, if it doesn't work out, it's so easy to say, I shouldn't have done that. And if it does work out, I mean, what it looks to me like is this is OG trying to play themselves, like, just sort of like buff themselves up, saying, come on, man, let's keep doing this. And if that's the spirit, I appreciate it. I think that's very, very cool. MBK, he's going to swing for it. That's an important kill. And, yeah, not just going for the buy, but going aggressively and wrecking VP. So we will retroactively approve of that buy. But yeah, I really think that's them trying to actually play up their own mentality, which from the way that they've been playing some of the games here in Flashpoint, that it seems like that's what they need to do. Like whenever they go back and sort of hide in their own shells and all, it looks terrible. So I can sort of appreciate that, assuming I'm just making a lot of assumptions about what they're thinking about.
No, that's wonderful.
I do have telepathy to wake Moses up.
You are, yeah, I know you did tell them to go aggressive that round and to just hold W and never stop. And clearly that worked. 3 AKs is all VP can afford in this round. Double Deagle trying to do the best they can with their economy. And this time the double nade to T-ramp works and James gets pummeled down to 23 health.
It's like the longer Inferno stays in the rotation, the further back you have to be on the T side. Like eventually you just have to stay in T spawn until like the grenades rain out.
But they're so unpredictable, OG. That's what I'm really liking. I mean, OG, dude, their CT side. I'm really liking this. Not every round are they throwing nades. They're not. There's no pattern for Virtus.pro to play off of here. So finally, those nades work out. Virtus.pro get punished. And while they're chilling in mid right now, Virtus.pro, waiting to see if it's going to be any kind of aggression coming out from OG and Banana now. Plenty of nades on Virtus.pro at least, so they have that going for them. Could have enough for a full execute onto B, and it's looking like that's going to be the name of the game here.
Yeah, but Manta putting that up, then not going to respect it. Instantly through. He's called in some backup, but even the backup doesn't have any more grenades, so it's just going to be down to the spray. Nice kill. And jumping over the bullets from Valda. That works out very well. Retake is going to be on 4-on-4. And inside of the smoke hiding Yakina. He's got nothing but tricks, but Valda stopping the bomb from going down. That is a big play. Now the smoke is fading, and they can't get rid of Yakinda. He gets one more through the smoke. He just took down 3 players in a very, very short amount of time and might have given a 5th round here to VP.
This is absolutely possible for NBK, though. If he can spot the man second oranges. Oh, the bait! Beautiful shots. And now it's NBK 1 versus 1, and he doesn't get the headshot. Kicker, he's going to catch him. But that was so sick from NBK.
Yes.
Wall bangs into second oranges, forces the man into the open. That was so cool. Unfortunately, that did not work out. Still, OG make it to double digits on their CT side. Phenomenal work for them in the first half, but it's going to be a break before we get into the second and we see what Virtus.pro are capable of. Can they run it back?
When you talk about NBK, you have to talk about the fact he's one of the most decorated players in the history of Counter-Strike, but that in itself, I think, is his curse and his burden at the moment.
NBK has done, I think, more than anyone to try and escape the hell of French Counter-Strike, so he's had to go way outside.
He's moved from team to team, but he still finds himself on his feet every single time.
A multiple-time major winner and having so much experience, you can see that he's kind of shifting his role ever so slightly because lurking has kind of died, but he is finding his feet on OG.
All right then, welcome back. We are almost ready with the second half. It's going to be on Inferno, of course, second map, and it is OG versus VP. So far, 10-5 in favor of OG. That's pretty impressive, Summer. I mean, I was expecting that. I was actually thinking it was going to be much worse for OG.
I thought so too. I thought that they were just going to get pummeled, especially the body language coming out of Mirage is what I was talking about, where they just look utterly defeated. You know, it's a lot of face palming and just not what you want to see from a team even after a loss in a best of 3. Because yeah, you lost the first map. It's still a second map, right?
Yeah.
You just forget the first map happened and you get to work. Well, OG have certainly shown up on Inferno. They're looking excellent. And while Yumi, again, coming through with the stats during the downtime there, saying that this is Virtus.pro. I mean, this is pretty much their map, and they're on a 10-map win streak on Inferno right now.
Really?
So it's just, they're clearly, I think that's probably why it's such a shock for us to see how they just got pummeled in the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, this is supposed to be their map and that they're feeling right now.
I think, I mean, if you had to say anything, I think in favor of VP, you'd have to say that at least the first 5 or 6 rounds, they really made it close, like almost every round. You know, just barely OG getting out of those rounds. So if some of those rounds flip in favor of VP, maybe this does look, you know, a little bit more even. But the way that it's been set up now, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a struggle for VP to fight their way back. It's not at all impossible, but definitely, you know, just a little bit of a fight to try and get back in there.
Well, you know what?
What?
We can take advantage of this downtime. Yakinder is actually restarting his router right now, so that's
right.
why we have a little bit of a technical timeout. That's why you guys are looking at us here. You know what else you can look at, though, is that follow and subscribe button for the stream. Make sure you hit it here for the Flashpoint matches. I know you guys are following HLTV. You guys are on the social as well, but if you don't want to miss a match, be sure to hit the follow buttons. You guys will know when we're live. We still got 2 more weeks worth of tournament coming at you, so lots of matches, Elite CS. You don't want to miss it, so be sure to hit the follow button.
Yeah, definitely. I think this. I hope, because I feel like this game was being brought down by OG looking a bit confused in the first one. I think GP were looking amazing in that one. So I think if both teams could catch up to each other a little bit here, it could be just what we need at the moment. We'll see. 16th round, second half is coming up, and for VP, surely it's going to be important to try and win this one. Don't always, you know, ascribe too much value to pistol rounds these days, but when you're down like this and you know, the map really isn't working out the way that you would have been anticipating, it would be a good way to get started. And they've gone for the 4-1 setup, which is just fine. People do this all the time. Well, the only thing that's a bit annoying, I guess, is that Buster is alone in B and he's got none of the grenades. So they've really made it, like, they've tripled down on that A defense. They're saying, if they come here, we're going to have 4 people, we're going to have smokes and molotovs and everything.
It's going to be awesome.
Maybe it will be.
And if they don't, well, less awesome. Then you're hoping for a retake or some weird stuff. Or maybe Buster just, you know, shoots 3 guys from OG in the head and your life gets really easy.
Don't think it's even going to get close to that. It's going to be the straight explosion out. So now it's down. I think the only thing now is Alexi's flashbangs. That is the only thing that could save OG right now. At least one of them has to be god tier, or they are just going to get ripped apart jumping out of this apartment. So 40 seconds, ready and waiting for it. James, one of the potential victims. He's going to stand right up into the flashbang. Instantly putting down a smoke there in pit. NBK with the kill, Sanji with the return, and they are trading at least for a moment here. 28 seconds left, but inside of the bomb site, still Sanji is fighting. Oh, Mantu taking him down, and somehow OG find a way through. 20 seconds, and they're checking everything. They want to make sure that there's not, you know, somehow a 5th player in here and sneaking on in. Buster, he really wanted to do it. Oh, man, he was on a secret mission, Semler. He was ready to try and do that.
And he looked like he was going to pull it off as well. That position works for Alexi B. He gets that kill, and they collect the pistol round, but that is just soul grinding for James. The entire time he's playing peekaboo right there from Graveyard.
Yes.
Just, you know, peeking up, and then he's still down, you know, just waiting for that flash. And, of course, the second that he peeks up, full flash. Can't do anything.
So that was
just terrible.
James was the first victim of the flashbang. The second victim was that guy playing over by Little Pit that I'm not sure, or Library, I'm not sure who that was, but so the flashbangs definitely did something. And again, it's much harder than it seems to actually get those working right, I've noticed, even though you feel like, no, but they're, you know, there's so many, especially you got 4 people that you have to flash probably at least 2 out of 4, maybe 3 if things are working out really well. Close range, Sanji, nearly a double. KiNK going to try and see if he can fall back again. They're going to chase him. Nice mid-air shot, and Mantu probably should have been dead. Well, he will be anyway. James, for a minute, looked like he shot his own grenade. Unreal style, but didn't work out.
Not this time. That was still sick. I thought he just got it with the 5-7. Didn't even notice the nade. Still, man advantage going into the retake now for Virtus.pro. No firepower really, but the 5-7s and a deagle. They have a smoke as well. If they can get onto the bomb, that's going to be fun. But Velda and Alexi B, you're going to have to get through these guys first. And Velda's going to decide to take the fight to him. Buster caught with the nade in his hand. And so 2-on-2. Yakinder coming out from the balcony. James working his way up short. And this is all falling apart. Oh, nice try, but Velda's going to win out. 12-5. 12-5, Anders. And that was a force buy from Virtus.pro. So they do not have any money. And it is looking like OG are setting themselves up for success on Inferno.
Yeah, it really does. A bit scary, obviously, running into the double deal up there at the balcony at the beginning, but they make it work just fine anyway. So, yeah, huge lead coming into this one. Some more deagles are being picked up here from VP, so they want to give themselves, I guess, 3 tickets to this round to try and see if they could do some real damage. Yekindar already out there. Yeah, he's dead. Fair play. Oh. Did he spot him? Did you see? Well, doesn't even matter. He's not impressed by the deagle. And it will be 3 versus 5 here. KiNK now the next to show up in middle with one of the few deagles that is left. They're not really getting it done, are they? In fact, it's just OG forcing their way through the map now.
What the Sam hell is going on here, Anders?
There's a bit of a turnaround, isn't it?
I mean, OG are looking like a completely different team. Completely and utterly different. This OG has nothing to do with the OG that was here on Mirage in the first map of this series.
You know, I realize it's not a sophisticated theory or anything, but I still think yelling is the...
All right, so just, you know, if things aren't going well, just yell a bunch. And that works. That's how this works.
I certainly think so.
Well, I mean...
We should ask them later.
More of that. More of that. Because clearly it's working for OG. 13-5. Phenomenal lead here for OG. And really setting themselves up. If Virtus.pro lose this round, it's going to be so difficult for them to stay in this Inferno. And, well, that'll be OG breaking the win streak for Virtus.pro. 10 rounds, or 10 maps in a row for Virtus.pro on Inferno. 10 wins in a row. Yes.
Not quite the time for VP to be losing that. Again, even though I think Dust 2 is probably going to be a pretty good map for VP no matter what. So I wouldn't really despair completely if I was on the VP side either. But why give them the opportunity? Plus, once you're working on a 10 map, win streak, you keep going, right?
Naturally. It never stops. It's not until you get into the 20s that it's impressive.
Yeah, I guess we do have some pretty ridiculous records these days, don't we? So got to keep it going. Well, they got the Org out on Sanji this time, not on Yekindar, even though he did use it on Mirage. And wow, Valda actually finding Yekindar, trying to get aggressive, and Valda also had the bomb. He still has the bomb. This is really weird. He's gonna win the fight against Buster, and that's the B-bomb side straight open. Jame goes down. What an awkward and weird round. I'm so worried about the fact that Valda was just fighting on his own with the bomber that whole time, because if he goes down, not that they can't recover the bomb, but just that would make it so strange. 2-on-2 all of a sudden.
Oh, this is so weird. There's deep smoke as well.
Yeah.
Flash through. That's just utter annihilation waiting for you on the other side of that smoke. KiNK getting sprayed as well, and KiNK just going to be backing off. Oh, was the AWP killed over here?
Yeah, Jame went down on this corner. So
yeah, there it is. Okay.
So you can pick that one up at the very least, but the problem is, again, I mean, you can't even really celebrate that, can you? It's going to be 14-5. They just had their money wiped again, except for the AWP, so they are in a lot of trouble. Yeah.
Joker.
It's a real issue, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not. It is not. Definitely not looking fantastic here for Virtus.pro. OG right now are in the process of declawing this bear.
Valda's got 24 kills.
Yeah.
In 19 rounds. That's pretty good.
I mean, there should be more focus on Valda. There's a lot of talk of Montu, obviously, and for good reason. I mean, Montu, a lot of the time he's coming up aces for OG. But Valda on Mirage, on Mirage he was hitting shots. He was into 20 frags there. And well, here on Inferno, more of the same. So Valda clearly Mr. Consistent right now for OG in this series. What a shot though from Jame. Lightning fast, drops Issa, and that is exactly what VP needed of their opper.
It's pure out confidence from Jame. Just knows, just has it on his spine, doesn't he? Knows exactly how to do that. Pretty cool stuff. All right, swinging to just check and see if there's anyone who'd pushed past that point at top banana. Yekindar's out there with an MP9, and he's got behind him Buster, who's got no more flashbangs though, which is not a completely devastating. But now they're showing up with Jame instead. So you have to assume that maybe one or even both are going to fall back and leave Jame here. Or are they going to have all 3 people here? That would be certainly a risk.
Well, there's the trade. Jame managing to chime in. Still 2 players alive in Banana for OG, and that was key. NBK catching out Sanji on the lurk. Little do they know, KiNK is still alive on A in the pit, and so they can't fully commit just yet. OG, what they've done is they've just slowed it down to allow for Virtus.pro to start thinking things through and, well, rotating players across the map, spreading their defenses out. Because as they spread out, OG's advantage grows. In a tied situation like this, 3 versus 3, it's always going to favor the T side.
Yeah, here's the grenade, and yeah, they're going to go back towards the A bomb site. It's tricky because they still need to find KiNK down in the pit, and it's very hard to do that when he's just not even showing himself. Going to be a bit of a Molotov to try and force him out. That's a good start, actually does burn, but he's still on fire. He's going to burn alive. Oh no! How could he not have realized? 8 seconds, but the bomb is going to be planted, and all of a sudden, there's a chance. This is out of control.
That was bravery, Anders. He just had to get, he knew what he had to do.
Well, fine line between that and stupidity, isn't there?
Yeah.
LXCB waiting at the barrels here. He's going to see the shadow. If they were to turn this corner, he just notices. Buster walks right into the headshot, and James, well, just time to walk away.
Again.
Wow.
Time. That 15. Was, oh, man, it's hard to criticize, though, because, I mean, you're probably dead, and he's probably just hoping for a second guy, right? Like, if I can just do as much damage as possible.
I don't understand. I feel like at the very least, even just crab walk your way out of there. Just do something to escape the fire that's actually killing you. That he just sat in it for such a long time.
Oh,
I can't believe it.
If Virtus.pro get less than 8 rounds on this map, it'll be the worst loss on Inferno that they've had since KiNK joined the roster. So, well, Virtus.pro right now are staring down the barrel of a disaster.
Yeah, not just cracking their win streak, but also a horrible loss, and also a third map. OG are going to be, you have to assume, fired up. Dust 2 is 1 round away here for OG. They have every chance of doing this. Some counter grenades coming out. Looks like they're going to be right on top. That's not bad. Valda getting cooled down a bit. Mikindar's pushing up, but there are a lot of people on the other side, so... Oh no, they've actually traded places. Surely Yukindar, he's dead in a second. And that leaves Buster alone.
That's just full-on heart attack there for Yukindar.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, what? How did I die? That is a thing. That just happened. And so, 3 players in Banana for OG, hoping to spot somebody. Not going to happen. Bomb is going to need to get recovered so that OG can be versatile here. But Issa was worried for a second there about peeking into James with that AWP. James has shown just how quick he can be with the sniper. But for now, Virtus.pro, they remain fixated. And of course, as I say that, Sanji starts to second guess a little bit, and he's thinking of heading over towards B. Bomb is going to get picked up, and this is looking like it's going to wind up on the B site. Smoke gets put down at 40 seconds. But if they wait right outside of it...
Yeah, but there's more smokes. There's smoke and a Molotov. There's Sanji, so much here. They shouldn't really be able to break through this one, OG. And even when you hear that smoke going down just there, it almost like you just say, well, whatever, like, let's just flash our way through and go. Because waiting until that's gone, it's just going to be so little time left. Surprised that more people from VP aren't rotating over at the minute. Still just 2 people here. Sanji, one of them with the MP9, but it's really Buster back here on that M4A1. That's going to be the main defense. And with 7 seconds getting that kill and the follow-up, that means it's definitely going to be their round. So VP finding a 6th and putting, I don't know, so just, you know, a tiny bit of duct tape on the dam that's breaking in front of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, you know, it's just spitting in OG's eye at that point, right? You're not going down without a fight. You're not going to let them, you know what, Anders? This is not going to be your worst loss on Inferno since KiNK joined. That's what's going to happen here, right?
Yeah.
You're just going to keep fighting round for round. And, well, OG, they will have the money to full buy, but it is scraping a bit of the bottom of the barrel for them. Not a whole lot left in the bank, and so they're going to have to get it done here. While they skimp KiNK already in Boiler, little does he know, well, he actually does. And LXCB is just going to go charging right on past. They were ready for him, though. The crossfire is here and through the smoke. Sanji sprays, but it's James finding the kills. Brilliant.
Oh, yeah, nice defense there. It looked like, when we made the change of pace there, it looked like it could have worked out, but not this time. Oh, a bit of a fight. That's very clever. Still a 1-on-3 now for Valda. Yeah, he can set up that smoke, but there's a long, long way back into this round, isn't there? He's really trying to guess what the next move is. And again, if they're smart, they just set up for the retake. I mean, even if they get... Yeah, it would suck if you got the bomb plant, but it wouldn't be that bad. It's going to be Yukindar right in with the kill. There was a flashbang somewhere. I don't think it actually hit him. But they didn't pick up the AWP.
Didn't save the AWP, but
That's
and they don't have the money for it either.
Yeah.
That is problematic for Virtus.pro.
Where did the AWP go? It was just too far away.
It's looking like...
Okay.
Well, that's going to prompt the save round coming in here from OG. Tech 9s and P250s, some nades as well. Let's see if they decide to turn on the pace, and it's looking like straight up banana. No fear, only dreams as the molly gets canceled out by that smoke. Beautiful nades go sailing in behind sandbags. Yakinder's out of it, and OG just looking to power through this defense. Buster's only going to get one.
That worked so incredibly well. They're going to pick up the rifles behind it. They will lose Valda before the bomb is down. They have a single smoke there on OG to try and hold this back. I mean, they did lose Mirage on a very awful round. If they could win Inferno on a similarly, terrible buy, at least there would be some justice, I suppose. He's hiding in here with the 1 M4. Joined as well by Mantu, and inside of the bomb site is NBK. And they're just on the edge of the smoke. Are they trying to just go through it? It looks like they will just try and wrap around. A lot of damage, and James low on health. They need to block each other there. James should be going down, and he will be down. And it looks... Oh, wow! Kickered. Double spray, and he has the kit. He's going to be straight on it, and he will have it last possible second. That is ridiculous.
Get out of here that he gets that.
I mean, again, you can't really judge them, but if they'd fallen back, that probably is just the map right there. Anyway, 15-8. 3 in a row here for VP.
Okay, and so Virtus.pro at least is only going to match their worst loss. It's no longer going to break the record or anything like that. I mean, it'll end the streak if VP lose. So they need 7 rounds in a row to force this to overtime and to redeem themselves and to win this series 2-0. Virtus.pro are currently up 1-0 in this best of 3, having won Mirage. And so VP, 1 round at a time in CS, that's how it goes. Yakinder, though, going to just go ahead and power through that Molotov, doing tremendous damage, drops 1 and nearly takes a second. Valda going to punish him for hanging around too long, but Buster on the other side is going to take down Valda.
And James in a position that's very hard to check here. That is a nice way to set up that round. I'm actually kind of impressed that Yakinder even won the first fight, because I think he walked into 2 grenades up there, but still managed to do just a lot of damage.
He was all out of cares.
Yeah, but that's how he plays. I actually think that's one of the best things about watching him play the game is just he's so committed to whatever it is he's being told to do, even if it's even if it means almost certain death. So, all right. Now you do have a Molotov, NBK. You could, if he tries to throw it, he's just parkouring all the way up here. Can you see the helmet? Not quite yet. It's so close though, isn't it? If he makes any kind of a false move, all right, it's not going to be putting out anyone there. Yeah, they saw where that grenade came from, but they still have no idea about Sanji being in graveyard. So if Sanji stands up, it should be an instant kill, and it will be. I love everything about this from OG, but yeah, they were 2 men down, so it's going to be hard no matter what. So, 9-15.
Frickin' graveyard, man.
I mean, if you would have seen him somehow, I think if Sanji moves even a slight bit there, it's...
I kind of wish that you could just wallbang that now, though. You know what I mean? Like, make it wallbangable with M4 or AK.
Oh, yeah, the graveyard.
So that you can't just... Because it feels like it's such a powerful position to just be crouched there the entire time.
It is, but there's almost no wallbangs left for the M4 or the AK, is there? Like, that's...
No.
It's a thing of the past.
Thing of the past, once upon a time.
Oh!
Yeah, that's a clench. And
they only have pistols, so... I still think it's going to be fine. Very likely looking at 10-15 here. Very, very long road back, but of course it's doable. And I mean, again, if nothing else, they're at least accomplishing, putting a little bit of a break on OG's momentum and not just allowing them to cruise into that 3rd map completely victorious and just loving it. James 20-16. And Sanji actually, so it's a little bit quietly. 17-18 is pretty good. Again, you have to assume that it's going to be about the flashbangs mostly if they want to try and make it out. It seems like they've sort of changed their minds a bit, but you could do some damage here. Again, now it's 4 people though. Rotating a 4th man in. It should be no problem for VP to hold this.
It should. Should. We'll see. AKs aren't necessarily the best at holding all-out chaos scenarios. Some clean shots here from Virtus.pro, obviously possible. Smoke goes down, and now it's all on Kicker. Time to shine, and he gets his head immediately ripped off by Isa. Crossfire is still here on this site itself, but with 13 seconds left, OG now have to make the play. They have to get in here and swarm. Buster going to find the first, Sanji's going to get the second. Velda's here, and they are going to do it. Velda with 2 big kills. 3 players still alive here for OG as the bomb gets planted, and both players for Virtus.pro are tagged up. This is nightmare fuel now for Virtus.pro.
Yes, it is. I'm not even sure why they wanted to go for that spray through the smoke. I mean, Jame almost got killed. They could have both been wiped out. Smoke up, flash around the corner. They are so low on health. Yakindar tries to come through, but they win the round in spite of attacking a 4-man stack with pistols. 16-9, and we will go to a 3rd map, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be on Dust 2 to decide this one. And I don't quite know how this is going to be turning out. I mean, it's anybody's guess at this point in time. Both teams certainly should be fairly warmed up at this point in time. Man, what a match. 3rd map is going to be coming up after the break.
Complete role reversal as we move into the realms of Inferno. We thought it may be all over for OG, but a convincing 16-9 scoreline proved us all completely wrong. OG are pushing us to a 3rd, and it will come in the form of Dust 2 as they hope to be taking the top spot in their group. Gentlemen, I think we have to admit, this wasn't exactly the map we expected OG to be making this redemption story on. So where did you see the main changes coming off, you know, a slow start on that Mirage into Inferno here?
I don't think either of these maps have been what we expected. I've predicted the wrong way on each one, so I probably look like a bit of an idiot so far, but particularly on that first half, I actually think this scoreline doesn't represent the game so well. I do think this is actually a really close game, especially on that first half. The first 5 or so rounds were absolutely on a knife edge economically. And if even one of those goes the way of VP, this could be a very different map going into the late stage of the half. The thing about Inferno is the map of team fundamentals. So that's what Inferno is all about. It's such a simple map. It's all about the comms, the mid-rounding, the team play, and the late executes. And this is a game where we saw that VP does not have perfect fundamentals, particularly in late round scenarios. And in this game, I think OG looked like the better team. And potentially, that's not what we expected coming into this one.
Yeah, and it's an interesting point as well, because, whenever we speak to OG, it's always issues with their comms. So I'd be interested to hear after this, whether that was something that they were rectifying coming into this second map. Interested to hear your thoughts on this as well, Hawker. Were there any particular changes you saw coming in for OG on this? I know you had a few thoughts, in our pre-game segment when we were sort of speculating what would happen on this map.
Yeah, I was saying that I think those banana fights are going to be the most important thing. VP are a team on Inferno. I think, like Alan said, normally Inferno comes down to fundamentals, but the way VP seem to be winning a lot of their Infernos were just steamrolling banana in a bunch of rounds and taking the B site. And I think that's why I pointed out it's so important to me that Valda has a good game on B. I pointed out in the pregame, this is one of the maps where he does have the stats to back up him being a star player on this squad. He was the highest rated player on this map coming into this one for OG. It showed up on the server. Him versus Buster on Banana. There was such a huge discrepancy in terms of kills there. It really made a huge difference in this game. And eventually VP did start to adapt. They started to not go for Banana. They started to go back to the A site where they did find more success. It just came too late in the half for them.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, just touching upon the scorelines for this from Buster versus Valda. Obviously topping the scoreboard there for OG with 31 frags, 117 ADR. Buster way below at the bottom with just 12 frags, 57 ADR for him. So it's interesting that we picked these two, Alan, to be comparing coming into this. I feel like Valda, as Hawker was saying, very instrumental in terms of OG's success.
Oh, he certainly was. He had so many massive rounds on the CT side on that B side. From the Buster perspective, Buster is everything actually for VP on the T side. He's so good at playing around Banana. And in this game, he got shut down so much. It just felt like in this one, for the B side, for OG on CT, they were playing so passive with their nades, and they were using, most people call them the retake nades, where you retake top banana control, and they're really kind of disrupting what VP wanted to go. VP loved doing the contact plays, loved doing the pops onto B, and they just couldn't get in there. They just couldn't actually get up to the point of going for those hits because they were losing top banana control so much. So I think OG, they probably watch, there's so many games they can watch of VP on Inferno, so they probably watch the games, they love grouping B, they love the contact plays, they love all of that. Let's sit back early, save our nades, and take that away from them, disrupt them in the mid-round, and cause them some issues.
Another trend that you were picking up on was that lack of success in those anti-ecos. It's been something that we've seen kind of plaguing the side for a while now. Was that something you saw sort of rearing its ugly head again here?
Certainly, for when I came into this tournament prepping on VP, that was probably one of the standouts actually, was how weak they were versus ecos, particularly on T side. It just feels like they get a bit too individual. The players get out ahead of their teammates. There's no trading. Maybe they get a bit too loose. I've coached plenty of teams where players, when they know it's eco, they just get a bit aggressive. They get too far forward, and they don't really play as a team. But when you're calling anti-egos, particularly on T side, you need to group and you need to use your nades. Your nades is the #1 advantage when you're playing into pistols. It's not the guns, it's the nades. You need to work together, molly out all the close angles, and just group up and exec onto a site. And I didn't see that from VP in this game. Haven't seen it so much in previous games. And hopefully, moving forward, they can clean that up, because for a team like VP, where in so many of the aspects of the game they're so good, they just can't be making mistakes like this. It's just such a simple thing to fix. I really hope they fix it, because in this game, it really cost them in that first half when the economy is on the edge. If they just win some more anti-ecos, it might have been a really different game. Yeah,
and of course, before we do move on, I believe you had a particular round that you wanted to be breaking down. What is it, Alan?
So this round is going to be a late long wrap coming out from Virtus.pro. So here we have them taking brackets control. In a moment, what they're going to throw here is the B split smoke. Now, what this B split smoke does is forces the third A player to commit either to the site or this side to the arch. What we saw on this round is they did everything right. They let that one player cross arch without using enough nades. So even though Virtus.pro won this round, we can see this is some of their issues. They're so close to being a really good team. They had everything right in that round. They used the B split smoke, they forced the wrong rotate, they went into a long wrap, they isolated 2 players on the site, they left a gap open. And on that round, if the player in Manzu had rotated into the site and the B rotate had picked up Arch, and they lose a kill there, they definitely lose that round. So even though they won that round, you can see where the flaws are for Virtus.pro. And what we're talking about with the team fundamentals, that is a team fundamental. That is comms. That is saying, let's put the nades down on Arch and Library. Let's make it super clean. And we just didn't see that so much there from Virtus.pro.
It is indeed. And of course, we will be moving on to our third and final deciding map. We didn't know whether we were going to be getting here, but we will. It's going to be Dust 2. So from your perspective, Hawker, what are we going to be looking at from Virtus.pro coming into this one, first of all?
So in terms of, again, the map stats, looking straight at those, this is James' best map in terms of his ratings. He's dropping a 1.28 rating on average on Dust 2. He's been finding a lot of comfort here. I still find it strange at times how he plays, especially on CT side. I feel like a lot of the times he's playing on the A bomb site. I don't know if you can have as much impact there, especially against a team like OG. If they're going to have fast cap plays, for example, if you get trapped on that A site with the AWP, you're going to have a really tough time. The other thing that concerns me as well is that if James is always going to be playing on the A side of the map, that could potentially open up some mid to B splits. I think a lot of times VP don't really have a player fully focused on that mid position. So I think there's a lot of options actually for OG. If they've done their homework here, which I think they did do for Inferno, I really think they've got good chances at trying to get some counter strats in.
Yeah, and with Dust 2, we've already seen actually OG pick into Dust 2 versus Gen.G in that first series. Now, in this game, they had a good variety of openings, they had a good variety of defaults. The problem was when it went late round, when it went more complicated, they had more issues. And that's kind of a clear indication they don't have so much practice on the map. When you have some good early options, but the team plays in there, the comms in there, perhaps even the mid-rounding again from Lex be a topic we've spoken about so much with this team. Dust 2 tends to be a fairly easy map actually to mid-round, but particularly in that game, they maybe had some issues. So hopefully in this one, we can see that changing a little bit.
Yeah, let's touch upon that game a little bit more. As you said, Alan, of course, this was actually the map that we saw OG picking out. So from your perspective coming into this one, is there anything key that, we're going to need to, be seeing changed coming into this if they hope to be taking the top of their group?
On the OG side of things, I just think when I watch their Dust 2 in personally, I find that they actually go for B plays on the T side much more than a lot of other teams. And those can be risky sometimes. If you don't get quickly onto the B site, you can have a lot of problems with that. I also think for OG, something I'm looking at is their B site hold on the CT side. They have MBK and Issa holding that B site. Normally, Issa's that rotator between mid and B on the CT side for OG. And sometimes I think he can get caught out in the open. He can get caught with poor decision making. That's something that could be very exploitable on the OG side. So I think, honestly, for both teams, if they've done their homework here, there are things they could potentially maybe exploit from their opponents. And I honestly think it might come down to who's got the better game plan coming into this final map.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point as well. And coming into this, we didn't necessarily expect this to be going to the full 3 maps after seeing that first map scoreline. It's been a complete reversal of exactly what we expected coming into this one. So how are you seeing this playing out? Now that we've seen each team taking one another's map picks, who are you favouring? Put Pinnacle predictions aside for this one.
I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea going into this third. I have a feeling this third map is actually going to be a story of who has the worst CT side on Dust 2, because I think they are both pretty weak on the CT side of Dust 2. From the VP perspective, we talked about it a bit in this one, their fundamentals aren't always perfect. I think they've been a lot better at this tournament so far, but we haven't seen them so much on Dust 2. And on CT side, Dust 2, you can get punished big time for having bad rotates, because the T side, they get mid control, they can cut off the B rotator moving, same with the A rotator, they can't get across. So if they're having issues there, they could have problems. From the OG side, I think they play it too standard on the CT side. Again, we talked about Mantu coming into this series when you see him super mobile. Same with James, you talked about. CT side Dust 2, there's just not that many options. There's not many options to get information. There's not many options to get mid-round picks. Your only real options are your AWPer. And when you see Mantu on the move, same with Jane when he's on the CT side, when you see both of them on the move, as I said, whoever comes out with the best CT side, I think will win this game.
Well, a lot of questions coming into this one. It will be going the full distance as we are heading to Dust 2. And the wonderful Anderson Semler will be joining us along for the ride. Gentlemen, take it away.